Yes, peace and blessings.
All
It's your
day.
boy Daniel McKinney from Full Sail. I am in the music production bachelor's program, and I have Josh.Lockhart,
Yes, sir.
who is also a music major at UCLA,
That is right.
and he is a musical genius as well. So yeah.
Too kind. You far too kind.
So I got a list of questions that I actually want to, get to you real quick.
Yes, sir.
First off, so what type of actual industry are you in, to so to say, so people can get familiar with who you are?
This is a very, very broad answer, but I am in the music industry. I'm a hip hop artist, R&B artist. I'm also a classical pianist, and I try to incorporate all of those things to embody this is what we call the music industry. So, as an overall overview of the industry that I am, it is music, and yeah, music.
No. With that being said, what do you see as your role of the visual artist in society today, particularly in your profession?
The role of the visual arts in society, I believe, is to, in a sense, portray the issues that are being discussed in the music. You know, you have different cultures and different communities within music,
Mhm.
like different sub communities. Like each community has its own message. I think the role of the visual artist is to, or the visual arts would be to convey these messages that the artists within these cultures and communities are trying to get to the general public. I speak particularly in my profession, which is music, obviously, because it's a healthy relationship between the two, the visual artist and the musician.
So, as far as visual arts, how has your knowledge of famous artworks influenced your creative process?
I really want to give this example. I did this, like a little bit of research on Van Gogh, Vincent
Uh,
Van Gogh, ironically, um, and he did this painting. I can't recall the name of the painting, but he tried to capture the essence of turbulence within his painting. So you'll look into the sky and you'll just see like these abstract circular figures in the sky, and people always assume them to be clouds or wind. But in doing further research, it was him trying to embody turbulence. When thinking of that, and then trying to make a connection to music, because I always try to bring it back to whatever, however it can like further the culture of music. It's that intricate detailing that inspires me the most, like to pay attention to how turbulence functions, and you know that's like an invisible process, but it has a very tangible and visible result.
mm,
That detailing is what inspires me.
what popular images do you see that are frequently repeated throughout your industry?
Whether they have a positive or negative influence over the culture, the most popular image that I see is the image in essence of a woman. Ironically, I think it's not necessarily the greatest look for the culture, but sex sells, and the essence of a woman, and um, like what she has to offer. I think that sells more than the music, honestly. So, in terms of popularity, we've been seeing it since the beginning of time.
Yeah, because with all of the people that actually been creating portraits of females, like whether it's high uh, deities or just regular people like Mona
Yeah.
Lisa or whatever, it's always constantly in our subconscious. Yeah, with the implication of new communications and media technology that make imagery almost instantly available, do you
hmm
believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on society, the industry, and if you can, please provide with some kind of examples?
Well, honestly, I think it's a two-edged sword. It has a positive influence on the industry, and it has a negative, and I'll tell you why. Um, if you can recall, well, I'll give you the negative first. Everything is so instantaneous and tangible
Yeah.
immediately that the like artists feel obligated to release things off impulse and release things for free just to keep up with uh, their peers or someone that they revere, but they aren't generating any revenue, because when it comes down to it, like revenue is one of the driving forces behind the music business. Like you
Yeah,
have to
any
generate,
industry really.
you know, so you have to generate, you know, some type of
Income.
revenue. So that's where the negative comes in because you feel obligated to give
Get
free
back.
content
Yeah.
away, but you aren't getting paid for it. But the positive comes from the possible exposure that comes from it and the enlightenment of whatever it is you're trying to push. An example I'll give is I think it was Jay-Z. He sat in a museum for a duration of time. I believe it was like 9 or 10 hours, and he performed one song over and over and over and over and over for the purpose of art. Um, of course, not everyone had access, but it wasn't like only the elite of society had access. So it was definitely a healthy mix of regular people and bon vivants and affluent and influential people for the sake of art and for the sake of exposure. So you have high level artists doing it on that level, but then you have people who they've been a part of this community and a part of this culture, and they do things like this
On a daily
constantly,
basis, yeah.
on a daily basis. So, in that sense, you see that hierarchy mimicking itself. You have the higher ups copying the people at the bottom of the totem pole, and then you have the opposite. So they kind of mirror each other, and in that sense, it's definitely healthy because it's exposure across the boards. You know,
Gotcha.
if art is the objective and the main goal, then
Why not go for it?
yeah, go for it.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Can you answer the question that we skipped?
Yes. I think I can answer it. So the question was, who's one of my favorite visual artists, and what was the favorite style of visual art?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm a cheat, but it's okay though, and I'm gonna tell you why. He's not per se a visual artist, but I like I study music, so me being a classical pianist, I have to understand the inspiration behind why these composers do what they do and the form in which they follow, why they follow it.
Got you.
So I want to turn our attention to a French composer named Maurice Ravel, and he has a piece called Jeu d'eau, and it is designed to imitate water, basically, flowing water. To not be so specific, it refers to the water that's tickling God as God laughs. That's like a loose translation. That's a loose translation of it, and the way that he embodies the texture of water and the characteristics of water, to where it can be roaring or it can be silent and gentle or it can be still and it can be moving rapidly. He paints this picture sonically, but if you were to close your eyes or if you were to not understand this is what he was trying to do, you would automatically think this sounds like water, or this is what water would sound like, or what water would look like if it was sonic. So, I mean, in a sense, he's a visual artist because he pulls from these sonic emotions and he paints this sonic and visual picture in conjunction with each other. And to be able to do that is, I don't know, it might be
epic though. That's hard to actually do as like a musician nowadays because nobody's thinking on that path. It's just like John Cage.
Exactly.
Nobody is thinking on that path at all.
Nobody's thinking. It's like a leftist train of thought to be able to embody an entity and create its persona visually and sonically. That's definitely inspirational. I strive to be an artist like that within the hip hop genre, within any genre. You know.
With that being said, I think that was a good little session that hopefully a lot of other people who actually see this can actually draw some inspiration and more research, basically.
Yeah. I hope it helped, man. I know I stumbled across a few words, but working on my interview skills.
Hey, we are, brother. We are. Well, peace and blessings, man.
Blessings, man, from the side where the Asians be. You already know. Turn all the way up, man.
Hold on, hold on.